Here's an example of live design recorded with Camtasia Studio. I apologize for the audio quality. I am having a bad audio day. So let's see. Let's look up some of these files. So this gives you an idea of what you might experience on Skype screen sharing. So I have already set up some of these. And let's say that someone wanted to modify the concrete goals tracker. And they'd say to me, hey, everything's great, except these aren't the things I want. I want another 10-point thing. I'll go, okay, we can do that. Let's move these down. Let me duplicate this. How did I set this up before? These are individual items, it looks like. We ungroup that. And duplicate that. What's the space between these? I don't even remember, so I will have to recalculate that. And it looks like it's 0.018 inches. I'll save the shim for later. Basically, these all still grouped? These are individually grouped, and I will align them to a key object, 0.18 inches, and that will be our key object. And I'll duplicate that space that was here automatically. So now I've added that. I had to figure out what the shim is over here, which I probably should have done first. The space between these things, we want these equal. I have a snap to, or smart drawing on, which is almost useful. I think one thing you're going to have to do is keep myself from complaining a lot about Adobe's interface design, just their usability, because I am a big freehand fan. So they wanted this. Our imaginary client wanted to add a line. It's signing new. What would it be? It's billable work, new business. It's the idea of the 10-point ones are to reward people for things that are actual cash in the bank. Unless we could say it's landing a long-term client. Can we move these things off? Let's go back. So let's say that they wanted to add a logo. I have a logo file I can drop in. Let me just load it onto this page. These are some old logos I have, and let's pretend that this is the logo we want. And this is a company. So we could just remove this and replace it. Let me just move that off screen and see what this looks like. And it kind of works. Don't really like it though. And so if we were talking about this, we might have had some conversation beforehand. Maybe the easier thing to do is just to move all this stuff down, and make a thing at the top for it. So we'll slide that down. Oops. Slide it. This is Adobe's terrible interface. And we could put this here. That still doesn't look so great. But I might have some pre-designed forms that are designed for logo work. That might be something I had to work on and add. I guess I could move this stuff over here. What is with this? Oh, the audio recording the video recording screen is slowing my machine down a little bit. So let's scale this down a little bit. Wow, it's really slowing it down. That would be alright. Then we can move this whole list up. Maybe that would be okay. Yeah, so these are some of the things that we could try, and things that won't satisfy me might actually end up satisfying someone else. So it could be, that's good enough. Let's just stick with that. That's exactly what I wanted. And you just try other things. Again, that's maybe not a good idea, but actually, maybe we don't need this line. Maybe we can just stretch out the crosses. I didn't set that up properly in the original version. Stretch that across, and there's not enough space, so I gotta put it back. But you get the idea. So I moved these things down, and then I had to remove these extra lines, which you might not be able to see. Let's move these things out of the way. That line you don't need. Let's move this thing back up. These guides here to make sure that, let me realign these first. To make sure that these will stay on a printer. There's a 0.25 inch margin. And we could call it the critical goals tracker for functional stationary incorporated. Well, I can't type today. Incorporated. And you update these things. I would probably retain the copyright, but if it's for you, you don't need my link on it. And wow, that looks terrible. Yeah, I would have to design this form so it would work better with logos. But you know, if your customization needs are relatively modest, this might be something that works for you. As you can see, there's a lot of fiddling that happens to get these things aligned just right. It's not always easy just to slap these things out. So there's your demo. You get an idea of what this might look like. Thanks for watching.